pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, are we in a hurry tonight? Because that's like the fastest pledge I've ever.
We are.
Okay, that's fine. Now that I know. Good.
Do we have an audience of citizens? Actually, we do not.
Mr. Chair, would you entertain a amendment to the agenda?
Sure.
I'd like to amend the agenda to move up item F4, election of police commission officers to the top of the agenda, please, so we can take that up immediately.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Right, so we need nominations for chair and for vice chair. Who would like to start?
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to nominate Dave Rogan to be chair of the police commission.
Second?
Well, there's no second, any other nominations?
Any other nominations?
You want to close the nominations?
Close the nominations.
All vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We have nominations for vice chair.
Yes, I'd like to nominate John Bacon.
Do you have any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Ryan Zellick.
So we have votes for John Dyken and Ryan Zeller. Okay, so we need to take a vote on John Dyken. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I guess that closes.
Oh, you want to take
We
it?
have
Yeah.
to vote for
You want to
Ryan.
vote it right?
We have to vote for Ryan Zeller.
Aye.
We're close. That's it. I'd like to say that I appreciate everybody that's worked hard this year and contributed quite a bit to a lot of extra work, a lot of extra time. I realize we don't have a chance to do this. Back in the slots, given a lot of extra time, and that's everybody that's working. Ryan Zeller is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'd like to thank you.
I'd like to also thank Ryan for his service.
Okay, so get past that. Approval of the minutes. We have January 21st to 26th.
I have one correction.
Sure.
If I could just get to it really quickly, page 2, the paragraph that starts with concern.
Okay.
It was suggested perhaps ins. Could you change that to order ins?
Oh, okay.
Change it to,
Well, the in is in parentheses.
yeah, what do you want to change?
Order ins,
Order, order.
like order in, yeah.
Okay.
I believe that we had the meeting also was on the 10th and not the 7th. We're going to the Board of Finance site and requested to go to. Is that correct?
That was the thing.
That was the 10th.
It was the 10th.
Okay.
Did I have it correct or not?
No, you had the 7th.
Okay, what page are you on, please?
That would be the third page.
Third page and up or down.
Weren't there 3 things?
That would
I
be the
asked
second
Chief?
paragraph under Chief's
I
monthly
feel like
report.
something's
It's the one.
Oh, the 7th, okay.
This should be the 10th.
So
I know, I'm trying to remember.
I thought about it as I was reading it, and I couldn't quite remember. Maybe Chief, you can refresh our recollection, but I thought we spoke about 3 things with respect to the contract negotiations. One was the order ins for like Pickle Festival,
That's special events.
special events. Another one was to, if you were to suspend someone or place them on leave, the contract allows 3 days to extend that for like the next commission meeting or what have you. But I thought there was a third thing and I can't remember.
Was it about promotions?
Special events, right?
No, special events is, well, we were talking about ordering it.
Oh,
We don't have the special
Ability
event
for the chief
language.
to-
Beyond 3 days.
Beyond 3
Yeah,
days,
Beyond 3
yeah.
days. So I thought that was one section.
Yeah, I know we talked about
And
that.
what's the other, is it about, it's about what we're gonna look for in negotiations? Those, and it was about,
Yeah, that being one of them.
I can't remember.
was it the
I knew there were 3 things, one of which you
amount of
brought.
time, the promotion?
Oh, that was it, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
That was it, to make it like 5 years or 7 years
Yeah.
or whatever you, thought appropriate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Not 3 years.
it's not.
yeah. Do we want to add that to the minutes?
If it was discussed, I think we need to.
Yeah.
What are we
So
at?
how would you add that?
Are you talking about the second, are you talking about page 2? Second paragraph in the bottom where the chief talks about the sergeant's test? Is that what it's over? In
Yeah,
the future, the department would need 1 to 2 sergeants. In order to offer the test, you need commission's approval, patrolman with 3 years of experience apply. That 3 years is the date of hire, is from the date of hire. So I asked about that.
You know, I can't remember 100%. So I don't want to add it to the minutes. I can't remember. So. We're good.
So the one thing I would like to address though, in the chief's monthly report is, we had voted on sergeant's test, but you brought to my attention that, does anybody know that is it required for a opening to be present in order to give a sergeant's test? Only because if you do a sergeant's test, if somebody, you go through the test and then somebody else becomes available to take the test.
do we want to talk about that now or in executive session? I have a grievance here from the union. So
Is that the appropriate place to do it?
Yeah.
I would think executive session.
Okay, well, just because it's in our minutes.
Yeah,
that's what
no, I see, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up in executive session either way, so.
Right, so we're moving on.
Do we have a motion?
Yeah, we have a motion to approve the minutes for January 21st. We have a second.
Do we have any amendments, proposed amendments to the minutes?
Well, we just did,
Those were the minutes.
those were the minutes. We just did-
Who made the motion?
No, you.
No, that's where I'm asking.
Oh, okay, I'll make the motion to amend the minutes.
Okay.
We need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Otherwise I'll be calling somebody.
Now, we're supposed to have, we have the February 2nd special meeting.
Right.
Okay, here's the minutes.
I saw the minutes Dropbox.
Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Does anybody have any corrections, deletions, any of that kind of stuff? At the back of, it's all stapled together. It's the last. page.
Oh, okay.
It's the last page, yeah.
Yeah,
Why it was a 1-pager?
Yeah, yeah.
No, everything's fine. The only major event was moving into executive session, which I just read from Jeff DiNacrio's wording in his agenda. So as long as it reflects that, it's fine.
So I would like to have a motion to accept those minutes.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for the special meeting held on February 2nd, 2020.
Need a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Correspondence to commission. Do we have any?
We have some correspondence. I know you got this, Mr. Chairman, as an email, but I wanted to give the copy to everybody. It's the commission's report is due for the annual report going back from 2024 to 2025. This came out from Kate Wall.
I
And
did see that.
did you or did you not see it?
I did see.
Oh, you did see it. It was yesterday, I think, yeah.
She just.
Oh,
sent
you
it
got a
out.
copy too? For the record. Okay.
What kind of information would you like?
It's a 1-page report about what the commission's done during the past year. So I would say, you want to talk about some things that have occurred during the past year in the activities of the commission.
Very good. She needs a send by one.
It's on
March
here.
4th. March 4th.
Yeah, March 4th, yeah. And the form is the
Which is next week.
31st. Oh, next week.
March 4th is,
Oh,
no.
No, that's 2 weeks. Oh, man. I'm like,
Sorry,
oh,
I'm a week ahead.
when did that happen? Yeah, yeah.
Do you have one that was done last year? You have it?
Yeah, so last year had a list of who got hired. We put the names and dates of hiring and then, which I can get that for 2025 for you. And then there was some reassignments. We didn't have any reassignments this year. And then there was like some paragraphs.
Cars purchased, maybe we could talk about.
Well, I don't even think that, no, it's more about like,
Can we start any cadet program? Can we say that? Or that's not really us. That's you.
We've done that a couple of years in a row. You gotta kind of change
It's
it
more
up.
about like successes,
Yeah.
like additional personnel, like
Yeah,
in
stuff
the
like
last
that.
budget cycle, we added we added one additional officer and the FOI.
The FOI,
Yeah, that's my
exactly,
position.
yeah.
That would be good too, yeah. No, we didn't add a dispatcher this year.
We did have.
We
did
have
the
renovation. Oh, you know what?
And the
Talk
radio.
about The renovations, the radio.
Radio,
and the open
radio
house.
system.
What about flock?
So there you go.
Flock.
It's
Flock's a
lots of
big one too.
Yeah.
This list is getting long.
But it all has to be in one page. And it has to be in Word. It can't be in a PDF or anything.
It's meant to be
So-
more like, I think, bullet points, that kind of thing, right? Is
Yeah,
that how it's
yeah,
usually
that's
done?
what it looks like, yeah.
Who typically drafts that? A commissioner or do you guys do that?
They did it last year.
Right.
Well, I don't know who wrote it, but it's got your name on it.
Congratulations, Joey.
Hope you took notes.
It's called being drafted.
Yeah,
You accepted the nominations, though.
that's right.
Yeah, I can get a copy of it. Yeah, I'll get a copy. I'll put it in the email.
All right, moving on.
Hold on. Correspondence, right?
We're still in correspondence.
So I gave you that.
Yeah.
We already did your photos.
Yes, we did.
Okay. I was gonna put the grievance out in correspondence, but I think we're better off talking about it in executive session.
It's fine.
So, but that would have been the other correspondence, would have been that we got a grievance from the union, so that would be it. There was no mail.
So we're all set with correspondence, everybody? Yes.
Yeah.
Set.
We're all set. A letter from me.
All right, just check. All right. Moving on to Town of Berlin, Manabasset Shooting Range MOU billing. So as this is a special meeting, it's not a recognized regular meeting. We have to speak specifically with those two issues. Do you have something on the MOU that you'd like to state?
We were gonna, I was just gonna talk about the billing part of it, but we're
Okay.
going to a meeting on Monday now at 5:00.
So you want to just defer till then?
Yes,
That's fine.
because Ryan said he was gonna come, but then he called me and said, no, we're doing it on 5:00 Monday. So you could skip through that.
There we go. So, okay, so now we're moving on to under old business number 3, Kalia, year number 2 accreditation report. Would you like to present that?
Yeah, so our review, we're waiting on the certificates though.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
got the final.
We got the final review and, you know, we're good. We had a couple areas that we have to look at, and nothing really major. And, the coming out of this, as we talked about the last meeting, is we really have to look at, getting more ahead on these, policy reviews and, there's 3 areas that they kind of gigged us on, not really as bad as we thought it was gonna be, because the guy was very thorough, but, we're good. We're good. So last commission meeting, we were still waiting to hear, and we've since heard, so we'll just, now they just send you a piece of paper, but I was given the report online, and, I had to respond to it.
So you've read.
We were
the
happy
report.
with it.
It's good.
Yeah, like if we wanted to refute anything, we were happy with it, and it all goes through their portal, so everything goes through their portal.
So they know that we've read it.
Yeah, and then I sign it, and then now we just wait for them to send us our certificate. So,
All right, so moving on to number 4, Task Force Officer, Drug Enforcement Administrative Opening.
So we met with the DEA. Sean, do you want to jump in on this too?
Yeah.
Because we had a meeting, myself and Lieutenant Solig, with the DEA head from Hartford and the task force, head.
Yeah, so we met last week, was it? I think,
Yeah,
Chief?
last
We-
Tuesday or something.
We met them about the expectations, what a partnership would be with the DEA, what they would expect from us and what we would expect from them. And we left that meeting, speak with the chief, we were very pleased with how they wanted to operate. They had one opening and we want to jump into that opening, partner up with the DEA and have Berlin
We've been talking about it for 3 years, but we had to wait for an opening. And,
So we finally have one.
there's an opening and, they were gonna meet with other agencies too, but before we walked out the door, after our meeting with them, I told them that, we would take that opening.
Oh, so they offered it to us first. We had first dibs, so to speak.
Were we the first ones or the second ones?
There were some other towns.
Yeah, there were some other
We met
towns,
with him
but-
and he said, if you guys want to move forward,
Yeah,
they would accept it.
So
yeah.
there's no application process pending?
Well, I mean, for the assignment itself, we have to go
Well, I
through our
mean-
process. No, there's no.
With
Yeah,
them?
we
No
don't
app-
apply,
Yeah,
we don't-
but we have,
okay,
we have to do
No,
it.
there would be an MOU eventually.
Yeah.
when
okay.
we Finalize that between the department and the DA. And then, we have an internal process that we opened up, the application process open until the 23rd. Officers for that position. After that, we will conduct internal interviews with the interested candidates, and then the DEA would like us to bring them 2 or 3 candidates for them to sit down with us as well to make the final selection.
Yeah, so they have some.
Is-
We have candidates that are willing to do.
Well, they're coming in now.
Yep.
So we've gotten a few already, but they have a closing date on the 23rd.
And it requires a full-time officer
Yeah.
Mhm.
position,
Full-time special assignment.
okay. And would the plan be to be full-time special assignment, would there be a rotation?
There could be, it's not required.
Okay,
So the DEA likes to commit to 3-year minimum timeframe for that officer, because it takes a long time for them to get their clearances and training and up to speed with what they're doing. And then he said some operate where they rotate every 3 or 4 years, and some leave their task force officer in there for 10, 12, 15 years. Depends on what
what are
is
the thoughts?
beneficial to the
Right.
department and the DEA. It's different partnership for different towns.
And our
So we
internal
have-
posting says 3 years right now on it.
We can
So-
pull them back at any
Yeah.
time if we needed to.
If something happened and you need them to come back to work, then you just pull them out.
Can you explain for the record the beneficial aspect of having a DEI TFO?
So they have 12 task force officers that work alongside, I think he said 6 full-time DEA agents. They operate within most of Connecticut, out of the Hartford office, and they have a satellite office, which is closer by to Berlin here. So they'll operate in all the areas around Berlin and within Berlin if needed. So the resources that they could provide for our investigations, even if they're not going into their task force, would be invaluable. Things that we couldn't do ourselves. They may have access to information, tools that we don't have access to, and the officer that's assigned to that task force would gain the training and experience that they wouldn't gain working here in Berlin alone. They could bring that experience back to Berlin, train our other officers in the future, and it would be a great stepping stone for them forward in their career. And also there's an aspect of the asset forfeiture that could come along with large scale drug operations. The DEA is interested in interstate trafficking drugs. They try to work every case that they get outside the boundaries of Connecticut. They want to find large scale suppliers, not small time drug dealers. State and local PDs, we handle the small time drug dealers, and DEA is going after the large scale suppliers. There's the opportunity for larger seizures with that type of work, and all the task force officers will be included in seizures. That
So force multiplier, a monetary advantage, and then also the benefit of intelligence and information. And then I know sometimes different agencies have different things. Do they supply the vehicle as
They
well?
supply the vehicle.
We have
They
to
do
supply it?
supply the gas.
That's something we gotta think
So
about.
they'll get a government gas card, and they do cover $23,000 in overtime costs. So any overtime associated with that task force officer, they submit quarterly reimbursements to come back to the town.
Got it.
Their office, their overtime costs.
And is there any limit to how long we can, like, this agreement with the DEA would be until we decide to terminate it?
It's ours as long as.
So as long as
So
we're
as
long,
we-
as long as
provide
the
somebody.
partnership works.
Okay.
This opening is only other.
Really, there's really no
80-20
reason to
split.
pull your people unless your department
Money.
is dangerously low on staff.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they need the
80.
personnel, otherwise.
80% gets
Yeah, that would be the
divided
only
among the
reason.
12 officers. With all
And-
the agencies.
and it sounds like
And
in the
then
big
the
picture, this
government
position could eventually fund
Asset
itself.
forfeitures.
Absolutely.
the possibility of funding itself,
Yes.
and maybe then we can
It's a
increase.
And the nice thing is
Replace
that,
that.
that money that we get from that
It's a
can't
big
go to
one.
the general fund. It has to come
Well,
to
we talked about that at length.
to be used
Some
for
other
things like
that are
training,
too. I
equipment.
can't talk
Yeah.
about it in public, but yeah.
No, that's.
Sorry, I'm just trying to pull one
Yeah.
conversation.
All right, so we're all set with the task force officer, yes?
Yep.
Okay, moving on. We have
Thank
PD
you.
remodeling project update. Comments on that, please?
The plans, the diagrams came out yesterday for the second half of the PD remodel. Some minor changes like doors had to be made wider. They're looking at flooring. They're gonna redo all the ceiling throughout the whole project other than the new section. So today at the top managers meeting, Doug Solik was asking Kevin Delaney about the funding because there's money already. So they're gonna go to bid hopefully in March and maybe a start in April.
April, May,
Yeah.
could happen as early as that.
What's the timeframe on getting?
We don't
I don't
know.
know.
We don't know. It's not as extensive as the other,
No,
project.
A couple minor things, like some walls, but that's about
But
it.
they're not structural walls.
There's some stuff in the locker room.
Yeah, they gotta
but
take the locker
other
room and
than
demo that first. And then what they're gonna do is they're gonna hopscotch the work so that there's not total, we're gonna have a lot of disruption, but it won't be total disruption.
They're adding some extra lockers in the women's area.
We already
Yeah,
did
that's
that.
done
That was the
already.
other project.
Yeah.
That was the first project.
And so it looks like it's gonna be happening within
So
the next 2
we'll be
months.
holding our meetings in the conference room.
Down there.
Right, nice.
Yeah, we're having
That's
all
the-
the tech and
Yeah,
everything
the
built
tech
in.
is
We'll
put
be
in
able
and
to-
all.
Where exactly is that gonna be?
Right off the lobby.
Oh.
Yeah.
You'll walk in the lobby, you go straight into this.
Oh, yeah.
So
Our,
we'll
our
be
lobby, you
accessible
know how you have the
It will be
the
accessible
wall
to the
with the
public.
awards, that
in
won't
the
be
same
there.
way
Yes.
this one was.
If
You'll
we
walk
open
in
those
with the
doors up,
doors.
then the
You
public
can
can
walk
come
right
in
in the
because
classroom.
the doors from the
And the class
From that
what we wanted. so
room
that
to
we
the rest of
could
the PD will be,
Post
you'll have the
training
key fob
and
in,
get
so
free seats. make
we'll be
money.
able to do that.
So that's another avenue for.
Yeah.
Very good. So we've already done in business. We're moving on to new business. We've already done number 4.
Mhm.
We need to do.
Five's done.
Number 5's done, and then annual meeting. Do we have a meeting schedule?
I don't have it. Do you have it?
I had it and I brought it and I thought Drew took it. Because there were 2 dates that were questionable and that was the early voting dates.
That's why I thought you had to
and the World
discuss it.
Fair.
That's why I put that on. I thought you had to
Well,
discuss the
yeah, but I
dates.
thought,
I didn't take anything
Well,
from
we can
you.
look through a calendar, I mean,
Is there a
third,
chance you have one?
well, we know, but it just.
What's that?
We really need to vote on it because until we do.
You have special meetings.
The only question I have is that because this is itself a special meeting, on our agenda, we indicate it's annual commission meeting schedule 2026 development. Now, is everybody comfortable that that also means we can vote on that tonight because it's a special meeting and we're limited to what's on the.
And the only reason why I threw development in was because I thought there was gonna be dates that had to be changed. But I don't have it.
But we don't even have anything in place. Never mind.
I thought she had it already. I didn't
Well,
know.
no one has.
I thought, because I thought I forwarded also to Kate, I thought she had asked me.
I mean, if we look at
Well, I
our-
sent it to Kate.
Does anybody have a problem with any of the Wednesdays?
Today's a special meeting because from what Kate explains, she sent me an email and said, hey, I need the dates for the police commission.
Right, you must have
So-
received months ago, probably.
So I just did the dates for,
Yeah.
no, this was just within the last few weeks. She asked for that.
It's the third Wednesday of every month.
So I did the third Wednesday of every month and I sent them that. And she said, okay, you guys need to vote on that, but the first meeting doesn't qualify time-wise, so you'll have to just make it a special meeting technically. Even though it's a regular meeting, you have to label it a special meeting. And then the rest of them will be fine. That's what she explained.
Yeah, but
So
I'm sorry, Melissa.
So the problem with that is that we don't
I
do
did, but
it,
it's,
Let me see if I can find it.
we need to really do it like in November, December. For the
I can
following
find the
year.
email, I'm sure I
She's
sent
gonna
it.
go see if she's got it.
Yeah, it's all
Print it up right now.
Let's all just take a break while
We'll
the,
wait.
while the clerk.
I'm just looking at the third Wednesday of every month. I
Even if she
personally don't
has it,
see
can we
anything.
vote?
What
So
was-
the question
we had a
is,
problem last
we
year
have-
because we
We
couldn't
can't
get the
take
room.
action on the gun range. Why can we now take action on
We
the
had a problem
vote?
last year because one of them was Juneteenth.
Oh, Juneteenth. That's right. I forgot about that holiday.
but
Let
the
me check.
first.
I don't think we're in there. No, we're not on Juneteenth.
No,
Okay,
we
so
are
I
not.
got the list
As
of the,
long as everyone's okay, I mean, I'm okay with it.
I got the list of the meetings,
Yeah,
the
but-
dates right here.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see the harm in just
I could,
doing it
forward-
every Wednesday, you know, there's a problem, then we'll deal with it as it comes up.
I could forward this email to everyone right now.
They're already all on my calendar.
I'm just looking at it now. I don't see third Wednesday of every month.
It's the third Wednesday of every month.
Quite honestly, if we face a scheduling conflict as it nears, we could probably.
Well, that's my point. I mean, if you
Fix
want
it
to
as
two
it
months,
comes.
you know.
Yeah, you can always.
And if there's a problem, you cancel the meeting, make a special.
Everybody
That's
has
what
it.
we're all saying. I just had one question about it, but we'll wait for.
I honestly thought you had it because I
Need a
thought you said
recurring
that.
appointment in your calendar for the third Wednesday.
Yeah, but it
of
wasn't
every
in
month.
our, I know, but I didn't,
Yeah.
it was Sunday.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, do that.
Well, we'll know better next year. Or this year, and we'll do it. in December.
But you know what?
So you were,
Also,
I like to
if you wanna have.
manually
meetings
put them all in.
the
I don't like to do
conference,
the third Wednesday. One thing,
oh,
because one time it
We could do
backfired on
that,
me
too.
and it messed me all up. So I like to
you
manually.
Have a better.
It takes me 10 minutes, but I.
No,
like
that's what I was thinking we're gonna do.
They just got something new.
Yeah,
State of the art, cameras, more space.
yeah,
But the chair still doesn't have any knee room.
you will then.
No, they'll be
I
neat.
found it.
You got it?
You will then.
Well,
You'll be better set up, sure.
So do we have to make?
But then all I got to do
Item
is
to a
change.
Special meeting next time, add that. And word
No,
it
there's
as-
No, you'll be able to vote on it tonight and have a special meeting, right? You just gotta vote to accept it.
I understand, as long as everyone's okay with the
We're not
wording.
voting on it.
Well, that's.
It would be a vote on the schedule.
I mean, based on what we
So
understand.
what you're saying.
There's a reason-
we need to do it like in November, December of the current.
No, not at all. I mean, well, we should have, but that's not going to preclude us from doing it. The only question I had is, we can't take action tonight on the gun range issue because we're in a special meeting where we're limited.
He
in
understands.
that.
I'm just saying, hold on the schedule.
Well, is everyone comfortable that that language adequately tees this up for vote? I'm okay with it. Listen, I don't object to it.
Yeah, I don't-
Melissa, are you okay with that?
I mean, it,
Says annual commission meeting schedule, 2026.
Listen, as somebody who deals with FOI professionally, I can tell you I have no problem with dealing with it tonight. Okay,
I texted that to you too. All right, thank you.
we're just waiting on Joe.
And then if you wanna move to the other room, we can make that move. We just have to let,
Yeah.
Christie know when she does the schedule, and then it has to go on place with this. So it's up to.
we're not.
One with the-
There's next to the.
Oh, the
town
nice-
office, There's a
the
big.
youth services
room.
conference room?
Yeah,
Yeah, we do JRB in that room.
Yeah,
It's really
it's
nice room. It's got the new carpet smells.
For now.
and then you won't have the knee problem.
What happened?
Ridiculous.
Tom Brady.
Hmm?
Is that TV?
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what I was just asking Dave. Who is that?
I'm surprised he never came back.
Making so much money, it
Oh my
doesn't
God.
matter.
Yeah, he's living his life on the dream.
What am I reading? Raider?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
in it.
I did.
That's what precluded him from being able to come back and play football.
Seahawks won
The Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. So the owner had died.
We're in front.
Just got sold.
Who?
Where did
The
owner
Seahawks.
die?
For the Raven Seahawks? Or Raiders?
Yeah.
No, the Raiders, it was Seahawks.
Seahawks, yeah.
Owner died, yeah.
A year of 15.
Yeah,
Oh, it was a year ago?
His wife's been around.
for last year.
Oh, so now she's.
And they won a Super Bowl. I'm just gonna point that out.
I wonder why.
Because his wife's running the team.
He was.
She watched draft too many times.
Whatever. It worked.
Let's go.
I have my calendar and the handwrite on my calendar.
It's pretty scary to think January is 2027.
You might need to-
Do you need one? You better go.
Oh, it's another one calendar.
Oh,
Does anyone else need?
sounds expensive.
Okay, commissioners, in front of us, we have meeting dates for January 2026 up to January of 2027. We're gonna go through into, do we actually go into January 27?
So that's what I was confused about, because why would then our last meeting have been special if we're always accounting for the following January?
we do that.
So do we know whether do we know, well, we
We
did
did
so
that
last,
last
so the January meeting was a regular meeting.
I just did it to the end of December.
Because-
Last time?
We could add, no, this right here.
No, it's January,
That would make a lot of sense,
because you always avoid that.
the overlap.
Add it on.
Do we have to do it annually or could we do it for like a 2 year?
No, you do it annually. You're always doing it. So that was one of the questions I had was, so my understanding usually is all departments all departments have commissions. The town clerk is supposed to collect the schedule for the upcoming year, usually, November, December. So, I just want to make sure that we don't, things fall through the cracks. I was just wondering, we just have to keep cognizant of that. I'm just wondering what may have happened here. Like, why do we get an invitation to submit this, the 2026 schedule sometime late last year? We just never got that
We never got
request.
anything.
I don't know. She sent me an email and I responded. I'm
Okay,
not
that-
sure
but
how
that
it was
wasn't
done
until-
before that.
But you're saying that wasn't until a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it was after the last meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
After the
well,
last
that-
meeting, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll make a motion to accept the meeting schedule from January 2026 through January 2027 as presented.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
You talk to Kate,
Done.
she could put like a tickler.
Yeah.
I think
All right.
Good job.
my meeting is very good. Calm down.
I had to start doing. So I was doing them for the last year,
Okay.
but I had a little point where I got to do it like September, October before I got the day crazy.
Yeah, with
and
election.
holidays and everything. So I always did it in advance, to try to give you guys a heads up, but I do remember we talked about it, but I don't remember we ever voted on it.
I mean, I thought Marlene did it as, like,
Water over the bridge.
not,
you-
not
can
as
you
the
put a-
secretary,
So
you're
how
secretary,
do we-
not.
I would say
That's
Put
why I
a tickler
just-
in your calendar to remind you.
Yeah.
I
a lot of
still-
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
We're going to go to the Board of Police Commissions, the Chief's monthly report. Chief, you're here. Would you please- Chief McNally, would you please comment on your monthly reports or anything of interest there that you would like to talk about?
On the monthly report is the, goals, objectives and goals for 2026. I took the, department goals, the first emboldened 7 today, well, yesterday, or whatever, I had to submit them to the, town manager's office. So without all the information that you've received in this report, although he gets this report too, I, gave him the 7, departmental goals without going through the 3 divisions, because it had to be in a 1 paragraph format. And so that was given to them yesterday, and because it was due for today for the top management meeting. And so goals stay the same to the town manager and to this commission, except you get a lot more information. But he does get this whole packet if you read it. So. And then you have your division goals. The division goals come from the 3 lieutenants who control their divisions. And a couple of the goals that you might see, you say, oh, that's what we said we were gonna do last year, where we were already working on them. in some places, or we were unable to complete them for various reasons, which were explained in the previous report in the end of the year review. And then,
Well, I'm sure the traffic safety initiatives and the vision goals is gonna be a really big issue, but all those new stoplights, when are they gonna be in effect where we can, remember there was additional enhancement of enforcement because of those lights that, once
you're talking about the turnpike?
yeah.
No,
That project's
yeah.
underway now.
So it won't be probably until sometime next year. Yeah, well, it took over a year for the Newington section. So I think they had more lights than we do. I would probably figure end of this year. The end of 26,
I
maybe.
think there's a real enhancement to traffic safety. When those are pioneering lights, but
Yeah, and we're also waiting, for, when we talk about traffic stuff, we're waiting for the, grants to open up. Cause we did one grant last year for, traffic enforcement, the, rural roads grant. And now we're waiting to see what, I think, wasn't the governor speaking tonight about his budget or something? We're waiting to see what that grant, that, all those grants are on hold right now. We're gonna see what pops up on that. We'll be jumping on those too. That's probably under division goal for support service.
the investigation division has more street goals, compliance checks. Package stores, vape shops and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we did some vape shops this year, but the big warrant sweep got canceled, right? That,
Yeah.
they canceled it at the
That's why-
state level.
Yeah, that's why I changed.
We were involved with, in going to a statewide sweep and whatever happened. We've done two of them and then they just, the third one didn't come to fruition.
Right, is that pretty much what you would like to talk about? You want anything with support services?
See, support services. Well, we've mentioned trying to get a sergeant or a lieutenant. These are goals, so to add the additional positions for CALIA and the state accreditation policy reviews. And really to create that fresh professional standards position. I don't know how that's gonna fall for you, but we're gonna do, we're gonna try for our two citizens police academies. One was a youth one and one was the adult one. The youth one was packed last year. The adult one had no takers, but they're gonna change it. So when it gets posted, it won't be 10 successive weeks. Joe's not here, but the discussion last week was to do Saturdays, do an 8-hour Saturday twice, so you could do the whole program in 2 successive Saturdays. One of the problems is people work and they want to come, they just can't make that long-term commitment. This is for the adult one, so we're putting that together right now, and hopefully we can do that. Maybe the end of the summer. I think it's coming late now, and then once weather gets more, people aren't gonna wanna sit in the classroom. Plus, once we start our construction project, we're gonna have to probably do that first one in, community center. We're doing a lot of stuff over at the community center.
Would fall make more sense? I mean, everyone in the fall.
Well, that's what we tried last time, but we didn't get any takers for the adult one. The kids one, we had to turn people away. Adult one, we had no takers. So, but I think it was because of the commitment of 10 weeks or whatever. So,
2 Saturdays in September feels a little.
or maybe in the end of August,
Right.
before school starts and all, or when people are still kind of in that vacation mode. And then the other thing is, we gotta be able to get a classroom for 8 hours each time. Yeah.
Do we have any other issues with, or any concerns with the Chiefs Murphy report?
No, but I did, in the back, I had done a thing for the rationale for Berlin police vehicle fleet rotation replacement that I was all prepared for last week.
Yeah.
To present at the finance board if it came up. So I changed the header, put another cover page on it and said, hold on to this for next time.
There you go.
because I'm sure that that's not a one-off for the cars and, you know,
I think that we have serious concerns that this is going to continue.
yes.
And
It was
I
actually
think
brought
the,
up this
and I
morning.
think the way we ended that meeting was not good for us. I appreciate you guys showing up and no disrespect to the chairman, but the way we ended that, I think was bad. Because what happened was they said, we'll approve this funding as long as you ensure it's for patrol cars only. And then you said, I will make sure that's what happens. So basically what you did was affirm their ability to dictate to us what we do with our funding. I'm sure that wasn't your intent to do that. But what I would like to have had happen to say something like, it's the finance board's job to approve the funding. It's the police commission's job to approve what we do with that money.
And that's basically what I did. Was saying those cars need to go to patrol.
Yes, but
Because of the
before
work
that,
times.
they said, we'll approve it as long as you tell us they're for patrol cars. So if we said, no, they're not all for patrol cars, would they have withdrawn
Yeah,
funding?
but did they say that that night?
Yes, they did.
Okay, well, there was also a conversation that happened on the town council level, I think the week before, where you, chief, you addressed that matter. And I think you gave a similar, you gave similar assurances that it was going to be used for patrol. So, I mean, I
Well,
think,
those specific cars, yes.
yeah, I would
Well, and
disagree with the character.
That's really what it comes down to. Sure. Go to patrol. They're going
I think that I don't think that's a fair characterization of what the chairman did. And, the one thing that sometimes the concern that comes up is, this is the argument that goes back and forth with the Board of Ed. It's like, we're the Board of Ed, we're the one who spend the money, the town appropriates it. Yeah, but the town has to have confidence that the money's going to be used in a way that, and that there's enough transparency where there's confidence that the Board of Ed's going to use the money in a fair way. And I think that was the point that you were trying to make.
Bottom line is that's where they're going.
It's all about, we want to be transparent and the assurances are because that's what we want. It's not because they're not going to give us the money. It has nothing to do with it. It's because that's what we want.
The appropriate thing to do is if there's going to be a redirection of vehicles needed for other uses, then you have that discussion and then the chair makes that presentation to the town council and to the finance board so they clearly understand that. Because they're willing to listen to the chair, that's fine. Let's do it that way. But right now, those 5 cars are going to patrol. Commissioner, you're not.
We're aware of that.
Having not been able to be there because of previous commitments, I worry when Board of Finance starts dictating to commissions and boards, because their job is to allocate, our job is to determine appropriate spending. So I just want to voice my concern with the Board of Finance
That's fine, that's recognized.
dictating how we spend
And
the
that's a
money.
concern. That is a concern. Everyone should be aware of that concern.
It was
Excuse me,
enough
I
of a, it was
Oh,
enough.
sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, but I just want to acknowledge that, I having not been there, I would worry in giving too much room for them to tell us how to spend the money. We were elected into these positions to decide what was the best for the police department. And they were elected in their positions to determine how best to distribute the funds, not how we get to spend them. So I just want to be mindful of that, and we can hear their assurances, but we also got to bring it back because I don't know if Ryan was there, I know I wasn't there, but like giving assurances with part of the commission there. I know you guys are the majority, but I feel like giving them the assurances kind of also leaves some of us out of the discussion. And part of the thing that we've come forward with is this was going to be a consensus building group, right? I know we're not always going to see eye to eye, but we want to have that consensus building and
That's
have
fine.
those discussions.
So we
So
can
I
have
just
that
wanna-
discussion in the future, and then in the future,
Thank
you and Ryan could be there to.
Well,
like,
that's-
have 5 commissioners sitting in front of the Board of Finance.
Understood.
And then we can all speak their piece, and I give you credit for your concerns.
And we are all volunteers, so let's,
I get that.
be mindful that
And,
we're all doing the best we can.
and, everything you're saying is true. We do not, we are the board that manages and controls the police department. I think that the intent was to give assurances to the folks that are appropriating the money that we believe that this money should be used for patrol, and we think that's an appropriate way to spend that money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with how the chairman presented it. But you're right in that sense. The only thing I'll also say is that I've been on this commission for a year now, and I don't see in any way that there's any partisan gamesmanship or anything like that. I think that Republicans and Democrats, we all work very well together. And I have not seen any evidence that the Republicans have any way blocked the Democrats or have not invited them into a process. I mean, I will tell you, there's been plenty of times in which the three of us have been at meetings, and we're all busy, but sometimes we don't see you and Brian there. But that's not, sometimes people are busy. We can understand that. But when we're there, we're gonna do what we think we have to do. But we want you there. We want you there very much so.
All right, let's move on to, we're gonna move on to the investigation division. Lieutenant Solich, senior president, would you like to comment?
Too many new items here for had a little bit of an uptick, as the whole state has, in dirt bike and e-bike thefts, and those are being looked at a regional and statewide level. So our detective is working with other agencies on those steps, which may extend outside of the borders of Connecticut. There are groups operating within and outside of Connecticut, targeting mostly dirt bikes and e-bikes that are for sale on Facebook or other online marketplaces. So
What do? They just show up where the sale is and steal? Oh,
yeah. Yeah, they'll find where people are posting their items for sale, and they'll internet investigating, find out where they are, and that's their burglary target. And they'll go and hit those locations away with what they wanted. So not always the safest way to advertise your items for sale. Did get a DNA hit on an old burglary case. I believe it was from we had a local business that was a specialized shoe sales called Exclusive Styles. It was burglarized numerous times over a couple-year period, and finally got a DNA hit leading to a juvenile offender. So we have a juvenile arrest warrant report for that. Possible that leads to other accomplices in that crime as well.
This is a one-time stuff back a couple of years ago, or has it been multiple times the same offender?
No, well, groups that were operating and hitting several of those locations throughout the state. We happen to have one of them here in Berlin, but it was burglarized several times over like a 2-year period. The homeowner or the business owner would harden their target, and they would still get through that. They would make it harder for them to break in and still break in. And finally, I think he's got it to the point where they can't break in that business. It's good that we might be able to actually go someone out. DNA does work sometimes. Very good to get that on file, and you get a hit eventually. Block audit is in there for you guys. I think I have a couple outcomes. I got to make sure I get everyone to update their outcomes, because the guys are using Flock pretty regularly. But in order to track the leads that are generated and the arrests that we're making and the vehicles we're recovering, it has to be entered into the system. But we did obviously the bank robbery that we had, that was in January. We used Flock for that case. We had Harbor Freight larceny suspect vehicles that generated a lead for one of our police officers, and it's almost a daily basis. We're in patrol using the Flock alerts for stolen cars that are coming through our town, and whether they're just trying to light those cars up, they get out of our town. But that's still a win for us, because while they were here, they were likely to commit a crime or drive recklessly or any number of things. So just to know that those are here and we can put some attention on it is a win for us. It's wonderful.
LT, just a couple points. Number one, thank you for your update. Number two, I wanted to accentuate one of the cases, 25,14572, where Detective Griffith investigated a stolen purse from a motor vehicle that was parked, and then the suspect took the credit card and fraudulently used that. And anyone who's had their identity stolen and used a credit card knows all of the headache and the stress that goes with trying to prove it's not you and getting your credit cleaned and all that. And the update on this case for this month is an arrest warrant was obtained for the suspect.
Yep.
So I just want to commend your division and specifically Detective Griffith. Hopefully we can bring some justice to the victim of that. And secondly, I want to say thank you for the flock update. It's glad to see that it's working well. It's a very important tool for the town, and I'm glad that that's being used appropriately. So thank you for the update.
Yeah.
One last thing, I noticed you have two background candidates presently. How's that going out of curiosity?
Trying to think, when I wrote this report, so we had 2 entry-level candidates in the background.
One's been
I
dismissed.
believe one's
Dismissed.
Yeah, so we still have 1 entry-level candidate, and we do have a lateral transfer candidate that we'll speak to later on in the executive session.
So at this point in time, we have the ability, we're at 46.
We
No,
are at
we're
47.
at 47 right now.
We don't currently have a vacancy, so these are for
The
future
resignation
vacancies.
of Geller. That doesn't bring us down to 46.
No, because the last 2 hired brought it to 47.
Right. Gotcha. Moving on, is that it, Lieutenant Sullivan?
That's it. I think we have the juvenile reports in there as well.
Yes.
That's a separate item on there.
Yes.
I'll wait.
Anybody like to ask questions on the juvenile report?
No.
No. Youth officer report. Number 9.
Well, that's the juvenile activity report. That was done by Sergeant Schreiner
Is
because
there any concerns there at all? Well, there it is. It repeats itself what Lieutenant Sullivan was saying about the forensic match for the juvenile offender. Correct. Anything else?
I think this is we're on support services, right?
We're
we're
still
on,
under
he was on
investigative.
9.
Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay, moving on.
Yep.
Going to Support Services Command, Lieutenant Michael Job's report. Okay, do we have any questions there?
Yes, just a couple points. The collection referrals for the alarms. Can you have that updated? The 3 that are highlighted yellow paid. I believe they've been paid for a long time. Can we have those removed and have that updated? And then, on a monthly basis, if any new ones get paid, highlight those yellow. Secondly, can we speak about the vehicle mileage? That's a part of the Lieutenant Job's purview, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a few pages back. Just not to belabor the point, but for a topic of discussion for another day later in the year, we should consider replacing some of these admin cars for the detectives. I just want to accentuate for the record, we have one car that's a 2011, which, I can't do the math in my head, 2011, that's over 15 years. It's 15 years old, and that's a detective who responds to calls. You have another one that's 2014 of 70,000, and although the mileage is low, the years of service are high. And then you have 3 other ones, a 16, a 13, and a 20 with 106, 107, and 107,000. Those are pretty high for detectives that,
So how we normally replace those cars is admin stuff. The admin cars get replaced and that gives them newer cars. But
understood.
exactly
Understood.
what I was
Got it.
trying to say.
I got you. Topic for another discussion, but I think in preparation for the budget for next year, we come up with a robust plan that we all agree with together, and we could present that to the powers that be with BOF or town council. That's it.
The other report that's attached to that would be that of Officer Santi. Is there any questions there?
I just have a question going back to the service support, the grant update, the grant updates in terms of the vests. It says unknown when it will be approved, like they give no timeline, we just submit for reimbursement and we're at their whim.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
for the money from the state.
Because if I'm remembering correctly, they promised this to, like, this was a grant that has been pending for quite some, I want to say,
Half a
last
year.
several months, 6 months,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't.
Sometimes
Okay.
they never open. Sometimes the grants never open that we think are going. So yeah, it's kind of
Okay,
waiting game.
and then the letter of interest for the distracted driving grant. When are they opening that for applications? We will. Nope,
All
okay,
the grants are kind of sitting, waiting on the budget from the
Excellent.
state.
okay, thank you for that clarity.
When do they announce that?
They usually announce it around this time of year now. But we haven't heard anything. That's OPM,
Mhm.
most policy members.
They may be waiting, so
Yeah,
typically that's how.
Mhm.
Grants work, it's federal highway money, where then it's passed on to DOT, DOT opens the grant solicitation,
We're third in the line.
and the way the process. is.
Yeah.
So we have a Officer Musanti's report dated February 3rd, 26, CAD officer. Is there any questions or concerns? Pretty straightforward.
The rodeo isn't happening, I guess, then?
no, but now we're having a motorsports day that we got today on June 27th, and the rain date will be June 28th. It'll be a demolition, they canceled the rodeo, and it's gonna be a demolition derby and tractor pull. Not as big as the rodeo, but they're expecting upwards of 2,000.
Is there any reason to go further? Just curious.
I think they're gonna revisit it next year. Their timing was probably off because the rodeo is actually close by the week before. And then there's the same group does the rodeo in Goshen, and that was 2 weeks before.
Those are just bad overlap problems.
Well, I don't know if they thought they weren't gonna get the numbers or they needed to do more planning on it. So they're gonna do it next year, but they replaced it today with the motorsports week.
Okay, so we're moving on to, we're done with Lieutenant Jones and Support Services, Patrol, Operation Division, Lieutenant Martin, your president, would you like to comment?
Yeah, just a couple of things, that January 3, serious injury crash, we have a warrant for the operating for that, but we can still in a rehab, so it's sort of the physical rehab. Of its injuries. I know the box truck versus ambulance roll over the Chamberlain Highway.
I saw that.
That's all.
Is that a snowbank issue and they just pulled out or they just pulled records?
You know, I don't know what the cause was. We didn't have any other issues with sightlines there, so I would imagine it's more reckless operation. And then K9 Jacks had a successful track with an apprehension of a wanted person. And I don't know if you noticed, the motor vehicle enforcement is up a little bit this month.
Well,
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up, right?
You know, I cut off the last name, because the box just wasn't big enough. I will say that was my stuff.
Michael Jobs is there too. Everybody got in the action. So I don't know if you were in here, but prior to the meeting, I read it and I said something. You know, for the record, 641 total traffic stops. When I first started, it was, I don't know, 80 a month. And that's in January as well, which, you know, with the freezing temperatures, people are getting out there and getting after it. So much credit to all the officers who were involved and command staff for encouraging the officers to get out there and be proactive. And I hope translates into, you know, less fatal accidents, less DUIs, and makes the road safer for all of us. But 641s.
Yeah, and you know.
One officer has 110, 109.
Sergeant.
That's a sergeant.
Mhm.
I mean, you see the same names,
Hired Albert a
Mangeli,
year ago, 49.
Yeah. Mangeli, Dufour, Johnson. I mean, these guys are all killing it, and the list goes on. I'm leaving some out, but
Yeah,
and 4 DUIs for the month as well. So great job from Patrol Division.
and we've gotten a lot of comments from the public that, you know, I mean, I know, you know, when they see all these car stops going on, the impression is we have a lot more people.
Yeah.
We're very visible. I don't think we'll hit 640 again this month, shorter
It's
month.
gonna be 700 next month, I think.
They're knocking 3 days off, so.
Yeah, well done on the January 3rd motor vehicle crash. Obviously, that turned into a very dangerous situation. Well done.
All right, Commissioners, is there any other questions on, well, kind of got that report?
Think it's in here. Yeah, just wanted to talk a little bit about another topic I always like to bring up. Is the overtime. So some of it is pretty high. I can imagine why. But you know, just looking at it line item by line item, like overtime sick is $9,300 for the month. That's pretty significant. School training, 4,900. I mean, that's expected. You have to train your cops. Overtime for admin leave, 9,400. That's expected. Just kind of, you know, not to get ahead of ourselves with the next thing, but it seems like our percentage is pretty high or low, depending on how you want to argue it. Do we kind of have a plan?
Yeah, we were gonna talk about that in executive.
Okay,
session.
got it.
Staff Commissioners?
Yes.
Sir. Moving on, to Deputy Chief Drew Gallup, is there any administrative comments you'd like to make?
So if you look at our overtime budget, we're doing surprisingly well, to be honest. We're within about 4% of goal. We're about 4% in the red. You know, and this budget is going to be a big thing for next year because we've talked to you guys about dispatch overtime and really the need to be able to do that. And the only way we can do that is on overtime. And so the overtime was bumped back up again next year to 650,000. And that's going to be something we're going to need some backup on because dispatch is a high liability department for any department. Any attorney will tell you that deals with cases among police departments, a lot of times it goes back to dispatch. And I've already talked to you about my fears of a major incident and we don't have enough dispatchers and that happens. So we would like to try to remedy some of that next year with overtime, but we are so thin on overtime this year. We're never going to be able to do that next year unless they bump that back up again. So that's one of the things with next year's budget, the overtime is at 650,000. The other thing is staffing. Staffing is going to be critical. It's another thing we're going to need backup on because we asked for 2 additional positions. And when we try to do things within the police department to make it function better, it takes personnel. Like we want to send somebody to DEA, that's a full-time guy. That can generate a lot of revenue for a police department. That money goes directly to the police department. It can be used for things like training and equipment, money that we never would have available otherwise. So staffing is going to be critical. I don't know where we are as far as what we're thinking from the finance board. It's kind of early in the process to tell, but we'll have to see how that goes.
This morning at the top managers meeting, they were talking about the rough estimate of the budget for the whole town, not just us. And then you're looking at about a 5% increase. And you know that the voters never gonna go for 5%.
Correct.
So,
A lot of that overtime sick was dispatcher. We had a dispatcher that was out the
Right.
entire month.
And that incurred overtime. Got it.
Right, and that
Lot of
for overtime, and that gets lumped in under the sick, because we didn't have anybody out sick, long-term like that.
Yeah, because when I saw that number, that's pretty alarming.
We had a dispatcher out for the whole month sick,
Yeah,
so there's a lot of backfilling there, and it all comes out of the same pot.
yeah.
So it makes it look like it was PD
The
personnel.
dispatcher overtime comes out of the overtime fund.
Yes, it's
correct.
all
It's all-
together.
Yeah, I wonder if we explore for the budget for the following year, we bifurcate them into sworn overtime and dispatcher overtime. Would that be better to kind of isolate where the money's coming from, or?
well, we could do that, but it's gonna be up to the finance director.
We've
Wait,
tried.
no.
I don't think
We
they
wanted to
like.
bifurcate other things and they wouldn't let us. do
What was
it.
that? Lieutenant Martin, what was your comment? You tried doing
That
this?
we've tried to
Yeah.
do that with other things, like separate out
Yeah.
recruit training from officer training.
You
and
really get granular, yeah.
and get a little bit more granular so that it's clear where the money's being spent, and the finance board and the finance director do not want.
And it takes away some flexibility. from us,
Yeah, it
too.
does.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
You
as
know,
long
It's a good
as,
idea, it makes sense, but but I really, no one likes it, so.
as long as they fund this property, where we don't care what
Exactly.
box it comes out of.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, I'm wondering
Yeah.
if we could just track it and get
That
the
was
chart.
well,
My
we
question,
we
can
can
you
track
give
and separate the overtime
Can
for
you
our
separate it
purposes.
for us, for the police commission, so that when we go into these finance meetings, we can say, yes, overtime is X amount of dollars, and here's where the overtime is going, and here's why we need
Yeah,
more
right.
overtime.
It's
Like,
not just patrol.
Right.
Yeah.
correct.
I mean,
Like,
let-
if we bifurcate for our purposes, it'll help
Right.
us understand, I think, better going into board finance.
Last year, I'm trying to remember what the number was for dispatch, because we looked it up
It
and
was over 100,000.
it was well over 100,000 that
Just
came out of
dispatch.
the overtime account just for
Yeah.
dispatch. And I think a lot of people don't know that. And that's why we've been trying to, like, when we go to finance meetings, we try to tell them, this is not just police department, this is dispatch as well. And you have to have, we would like to have two dispatches in there at all times, but
For safety.
Because
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Commissioner.
last year we had to have two dispatchers for.
During the
almost 3
construction.
We had at least
It was supposed to be a
3
couple of
months,
weeks, and that
yeah.
being 3 months.
I mean, Mr. Chairman, we could hire 5 more officers, but it's not gonna fix the overtime for the dispatchers if they're 5 short.
Exactly.
So
Right.
I think that's good knowledge for us to kind of
So we can share.
be
that.
better understood and advocate for whatever we agree on. Okay, thank you, Deputy Chief.
you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving
Can I,
on.
can I,
Um,
can I ask,
Sure.
if it's not too much trouble for you guys to do,
Sure.
to kind of I know this is the budget we work with, but moving forward in meetings, maybe we can have some of that teased out. Like you're talking about training, like recruit versus ongoing training overtime.
Mhm.
You don't mind doing that for us? Or
Well,
is it,
I mean, I have a
Not doable.
spreadsheet that tracks every penny we spend. I mean, putting that into a report form would be a little more problematic.
Yeah.
But like the overtime, I think there is a category here for dispatch overtime.
Yeah,
I
the
think-
problem with, so there's a category for dispatch overtime, the way we post it,
Right.
but the way we track it is by overtime reason. So,
Yeah.
if someone's sick, it could be a police officer. it could be
Or a dispatcher,
Yeah.
vacation backfill.
Right,
Right.
vacation back, we're tracking the reason why we're incurring the overtime.
not the, not where it's coming from?
Yeah.
I see. Maybe we can table it then for future discussion, because I do think we need to, it's helpful for us to understand.
Basically, moving on to this last draft for our budget. We have 38.3% money remaining in our budget for that for the next 5 months, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty much on track.
That leaves
Yeah,
us
we're pretty much
about
on track.
4% in the hole,
Mhm.
somewhere between 3 and 4%, which honestly,
It could
I'm
be way
I'm
worse.
totally
Or
astounded.
just over.
I know, I'm surprised we're doing that well.
Just overtime.
Overtime.
But in total, we could maybe move some money around. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and what'll happen is if we run out of money in overtime, they'll just take it out of salaries and put it in there because we went a period of time where we were short
Yeah.
on people.
So
We were short at
just
least
put it in
one
there.
person for a while, so
Is it
there's always extra money in salaries that they just transfer in there.
dollars, what does that translate to, 4%?
I don't know. I just do the percentages. I didn't necessarily do a dollar.
But we, at some point, we may get ahead for all we know, you know, but I would, if it's possible.
What percent we spent,
Mhm.
that's how. we're
Right.
looking at it.
I think given the situation we've been in for the last, part of this fiscal year, I think 4% is pretty good at this point.
I think it
That's
is.
very good,
Yeah.
it's nothing to be concerned about. Like,
Yeah, I would agree.
And knowing that
Moving on
some
to,
places are so
freedom
much
of
over.
information.
oh my goodness, there's always, exactly, we could always fix it. Yeah, you guys.
Any concerns with freedom of information law?
No, done.
We're all good.
I have one question. It said one was denied. What are the reasons that a freedom of information request is denied?
Exemptions.
Exemptions.
Yeah, pending
Pending
investigation,
investigation.
usually
Okay,
1-215, 1-210.
It'd Be a juvenile record.
That's the other thing.
210B still there?
Yeah, for
So-
like,
Investigative.
Thank you.
yeah, and then like witness.
There's a whole bunch of exemptions. If it is an exemption, you don't release the record.
I figured it was covered.
Most of the
I figured
time,
denial
yeah,
was my
most of the
guess.
time we can release it, but
I just want clarity. Thank you.
Commissioners, you're all set on the freedom of information law?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Well, then that wraps up our regular. Now we're moving into executive session. Do we have a reason to go into executive session?
Yes. What's the general subject? Personnel,
Personnel.
hiring? Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to go into executive session, to discuss personnel matters, inviting in the commission, the chief, deputy chief, and the lieutenants.
All, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have the times of Joe. We're gonna take-
Oh, yeah, so
Coming out of.
I'm not
All right,
sure.
we're all set. Need a motion to come out of executive
Well,
session.
Mr. Chair, we're actually out of executive session by making the meeting public again. And I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's it.
The time is 8:19.
Is that what that